Welcome back here watching Prime Property. I'm Nansara Rai. Today we are focusing on the Noida property market, where builders Amrapali and SUPERTECH were in the news for all the wrong reasons this week. Here's a quick recap of what we were discussing before the commercial break. The Allahabad High Court this week had directed the district magistrate to find out if builders had been encroaching on a public pond and a cemetery. The petitioner's lawyer announced 2 residential towers of SUPERTECH's Eco Village 1 and 3 towers of Amrapali's La Residencia project were built on land belonging to the Patwari and Itihari village land that was meant for public utilities, that's a pond and a cemetery. Amrapali strongly refused the charges. Thank you, sir, for joining us on CNBC TV 18. The property market in Noida seems to be going off one crisis after another crisis. Here's the latest crisis. The Allahabad High Court saying if land has been encroached upon, the Noida Authority, the Greater Noida Authority, must act as per a Supreme Court verdict which had talked about demolition. You're right in the middle of this, according to reports, because it is believed that the large residential land project of yours has come up on a public pond and some pasture land. How do you react to this?
So whatever decision has come, this is between government and the government. No private people has grabbed any land or anything like that. It is a process of acquisition, and under the acquisition, if any such type of land comes, there is a process, there is a ruling, there is a government rule that the land has to be taken by the government, and thereafter that is being shifted to the government body. So there is nothing that somebody has grabbed. Yeah, the Supreme Court order is definitely applicable where a private person does such activity without the knowledge of the government. It is government has acquired the entire land.
So if the government has acquired this public land, and let's say there is some wrongdoing in that, for whatever reason, what happens to your buyers?
See, I'll tell you, we cannot decide whether it is wrongdoing or right doing.
No, that's going to be decided by the courts. I'm saying if the courts decide that.
I'll tell you one thing first. Because there are a lot of issues in those areas earlier, you know. So people, they don't have some work except that they want to search something negative or something like that always, and so the litigations is always pending, or they are trying to introduce new litigation, something like that. But we know the process. We know the process, and government also knows the process. And the honorable court verdict will be adhered to. And I know the land has not to be taken back by the government or by anybody.
So how are you saying that? Because if you look at the recent problems that have arisen in Noida, there has been wrongdoing either by the builders or by the Noida Authority to the Greater Noida Authority. We have seen the kind of wealth creation that has taken place in the wrong hands, right?
How can you say that it's wrongdoing by builders? If you are buying a sovereign land, how can you say that we are not supposed to buy a sovereign land? Suppose there is a track of railway and some pond comes, does that track is being diverted? Or the government has got a correct rule, perfect rule for that. What has to be done? So it's a question of acquisition. And how acquisition has been taken place. Maybe there may be some gap. The person who is into all these things may not be knowing the entire story or things.
Apparently, this petitioner for 2 years has been trying to complain to the district magistrate and the revenue department that there has been some faulty land acquisition that has taken place, there's been some faulty encroachment that has taken place. Has there been any survey that has been done?
Do we know that every acquisition is being done by district magistrate only? This is under the jurisdiction of district magistrate. So if I have done the same thing for me, you are telling the same thing to me, that you have done a wrong thing. They are required to do all the process. The district magistrate has to perform their all process in accordance with the law. So they might have done accordance with the law. If somebody will know the intricacies, only putting some certain question and certain order in their favor, it doesn't mean that it has been wrongly been done. There is a process, there is a rule. Had there been no process, had there been no any such rules, laws, bylaws, then it is wrong.
Did you take any land from the Gram Panchayat?
No, we directly never. But in entire India, if any land is being acquired for any purpose of Gram Panchayat land or anything, there is a process how it can be acquired.
This entire Allahabad High Court verdict is based on a 2011 Supreme Court verdict which was delivered by Justice Kaju, in which he wrote that if any muscle is flexed on the basis of power or money and Gram Panchayat land is encroached upon, the construction must be demolished, the construction material must be removed from there. So even if you didn't do it, somebody else flexed the muscle and got that public utility land, then it would seem as if demolition is on the card.
No, it is wrongly interpreted. This is for the person, muscle man, muscle power, he privately grabs such type of land. You will find such cases many places in India. But if government takes land, government buys land, government acquires land, they have a process, they have a rule.
So have you contacted Noida authority?
Oh, we were knowing all these things, that we were even knowing that who is behind all this.
Who is behind this?
They are miscreants. They want to disturb. You know, some calls has come to us. They are telling, okay, we have disturbed you. Fine. Okay, fine. Disturb. People will know ultimately. But how we also interpret the wrong thing? This is all in accordance with the acquisition process.
Who are these miscreants? And when they contacted you, what did they say?
See, I don't know what some unknown people calls. And
you know the petitioner, sir. It's there in the petition.
I don't say anything to petitioner because he never told me anything. But see, ultimately, what is the purpose? That middle class people should not buy a home. They should not buy a home at government land. They should go in the sky and build.
No, I think the objective should be that there should be proper due processes that are carried out. Everybody remains in the spirit of the law. And there have been enough instances across the length and breadth of this country. Why do we talk about the alleged Babu Builder nexus?
Please tell me one thing. Today we are on a strike, you know. All India developer is on a strike. Why? Because of the red tapeism. Why should not we buy a sovereign land? Who says that we are doing a wrong thing? Because of such people, things are made to state that it's wrong. I am telling you one thing. The entire process of acquisition was ultimately, accepted by the Honorable Supreme Court. Even Honorable High Court has told the correct thing. We know the judgment what we are referring to now. It is definitely correct judgment.
But they did increase the compensation, sir. The Supreme Court, it upheld the Allahabad High Court saying give 10% of the developed land back. They increased the compensation to the farmers.
Ma'am, this is the problem of our country. Once we take compensation, we accept everything, and after some time, again, if I spend all money, there is no money in my pocket. Again, I go to the Honorable Court or go to any other forum that these things are wrong, these things are right, so that I can accept.
But the courts agreed that the compensation should have been higher.
It has been given. No, it has been given.
But that's the other complaint against companies like you and SUPERTECH, and you can see this on social media. There was a signature campaign that was carried out last weekend that you're not giving completion certificates, that you're asking forcefully for NOCs from consumers.
See, no. Again mistaken. I'll tell you when the building will be completed. 3 years, 4 years we suffered because of all these things. We suffered a lot. Who is going to compensate us? We are in loss. Every building we are losing huge quantum of money because the construction was stand still for more than 2 years. Who is going to compensate us? Is there any mechanism with the government or any agency? So these are the things. Still we are giving homes to our home buyers. We are not denying. We are every day meeting with them.
But did you unilaterally hike maintenance fees as these people are claiming?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You can ask any of my home buyers. I had a meeting yesterday, even after this news came. I told them, if you are not satisfied, tell me frankly. He told, no, you have always stood with you in every condition.
So on Facebook and Twitter, it looks very different.
See, can I tell you one thing?
Or the signature campaign or the protest.
Can you find a person or entity or institution who doesn't have supporters and opposers? How can you disintegrate them? How can we disintegrate them? But we know that maximum number of people are with us, with me. 30,000 home buyers. Not even a single home buyers has gone out.
Maybe they have no choice, sir, but that's a totally different debate.
They have a choice.
The market is there. They can't even exit.
No, they can. They can. Market has gone up. The moment they had bought the flat in 1,800 rupees or 1,600 rupees per square foot, today even dead market is more than 2,800 rupees. They can very well exit.
But there's no secondary sales happening, no? The price may be that, but they have to find someone to sell it to.
I think you have thought that today you have to grill me.
Well, that's Amrapali side of the story. The chairman there saying miscreants are behind the petition at the Allahabad High Court. He also strongly refutes the alleged Babu Builder nexus. With that, we have to wrap up this edition of Prime Properties. You remember, you can always email us your feedback, send us your queries, or even experiences with the builder that you may want to share. Our email address is primeproperty@network18online.com. You can also tweet me. See you same time next week.